Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking the video out today. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover here today. So as always, before we dive into these topics, do me a favor. If you end up enjoying the video or finding it informative, make sure you leave it a like. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. We're starting here talking about Street Fighter 6 and how it has been rated, suggesting that release date news could be coming soon. Reading from VGC, Street Fighter 6 has been rated in South Korea, where it's been issued a 15 certificate. While the rating doesn't necessarily mean the game's release is imminent, it does suggest that fans could receive news on when the title is expected to arrive in the coming weeks. Officially, Street Fighter 6 has a 2023 release window, and in Capcom's recent financial results, it claimed it had one major new title planned for the remainder of its fiscal year, Resident Evil 4, which suggests the fighting game won't release before March 31st, 2023. However, the South Korean rating does provide some hope that Street Fighter 6 might not be far off from release. For comparison, Horizon Forbidden West was rated in November of 2021 and was released 3 months later in February of 2022. God of War Ragnarok was rated in May and released 6 months later in November. Capcom recently confirmed the full lineup of Street Fighter 6 characters, which includes all 8 original World Warriors from Street Fighter 2. Capcom also revealed more footage from World Tour during its TGS presentation. This mode will feature a large open world and will seemingly allow players to explore various locations, meet classic Street Fighter characters, and battle against other NPCs. So if you're somebody who is looking forward to Street Fighter 6, this should certainly give you some hope that we will be getting a release date announcement sooner rather than later, and that the game is actually coming sooner rather than later. So there you go. Figured I would update you guys on that. Next up, we have Microsoft explaining why Starfield is an Xbox exclusive and won't be releasing on PlayStation, and also hints at Elder Scrolls 6 exclusivity. Reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, they say while explaining why Starfield is an Xbox console exclusive, Microsoft has hinted that the Elder Scrolls 6 is Xbox exclusive as well. And yet another gem unearthed from the document containing Microsoft's arguments in favor of the Activision Blizzard merger, the Xbox maker states that games like Starfield and Redfall have higher exclusivity value since they are new IPs that are often single-player and only appeal to dedicated gamers. On the other hand, games like Call of Duty have a mass-market appeal and require a robust multiplayer community to continue thriving, so it wouldn't make sense to make it exclusive in the future. In its response to UK's Competition and Markets Authority, page 57, Microsoft claimed that The Elder Scrolls is a mid-sized franchise compared to Call of Duty and Minecraft, and making a future entry Xbox exclusive would do no harm to PlayStation. According to the company, since The Elder Scrolls hasn't seen a new installment since 2011, it's not exactly yanking anything away from Sony, and unlike Call of Duty, Microsoft won't be forgetting a steady stream of revenue from the Bethesda franchise just to dunk on PlayStation either. The moral of the story here is that it wouldn't make sense for Microsoft to pull the plug on Call of Duty on PlayStation. So this is something I wanted to cover briefly because we do have Microsoft making it pretty clear in a direct way, although I think we all kind of already knew this, that Starfield, Redfall, they're obviously going to be exclusive, but a game that's much further out like The Elder Scrolls 6 is also expected to be exclusive and not released on PlayStation. However, I think Microsoft is being completely disingenuous with the way they're speaking about The Elder Scrolls 6. We all know it's absolutely not a mid-tier franchise. We all know it's a massive franchise, and while maybe it can't be compared directly to Call of Duty because they are two very different games and two very different franchises, and while they haven't released a mainline Elder Scrolls game in many years, we all know what's going to happen when The Elder Scrolls 6 is announced and the build up to that, and the implications of it not being on PS5, or the ramifications, I should say, are quite significant. What we are seeing here is Microsoft downplaying their entire purchase of Bethesda and all of the IP under Bethesda, basically making it sound like Bethesda as a whole is simply a mid-tier publisher that produces mid-tier games. I think that's selling Bethesda very short, and I think we can all agree that it's pretty much nonsense. So yeah, just figured I would let you guys know about that. But moving on from that, we have Activision now coming out and threatening to fight for this merger with Microsoft if the deal isn't approved. Reading from PlayStation Lifestyle once again, Activision's EVP of Corporate Affairs and COO has delivered this threat on Twitter, of all places, of a legal fight if regulators block the Microsoft Activision deal. The message was seemingly tweeted in response to a report from Politico, which claimed that FTC is likely to file an antitrust lawsuit against the merger under Chair Lina Khan, a fierce critic of tech monopolies. Activision is well within its right to take the battle to court should the deal not be approved, but a Twitter threat is unlikely to deter regulators, especially those in the UK and the rest of Europe, not beholden to the US tech industry's way of doing things. So, I figured I would let you guys know about this because now we are seeing Activision come out and make it known that if the FTC does file a lawsuit, they will fight this. And so, look, it seems like things are about to become much more difficult for Microsoft and Activision in the coming months. And then the final topic regarding this whole thing is Microsoft arguing that Call of Duty players do not drive platform adoption. Reading from PlayStation Universe, it says here the yo-yoing between Microsoft and Sony regarding the former's planned buyout of Activision Blizzard shows no signs of slowing down, with the Xbox format holder arguing in its defense that Call of Duty players do not drive platform adoption, suggesting they are neither special nor unique. Speaking in a statement issued to the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, Microsoft commented, quote, "Call of Duty gamers are neither special nor unique in terms of either their spending or user engagement as compared to gamers that favor other popular franchises. Call of Duty does not drive platform adoption. Xbox data shows that between 2016 and 2022, a redacted percentage of new Xbox gamers never played or purchased Call of Duty content, and only a redacted percentage of gamers played Call of Duty as their first game on their new Xbox console. These numbers are inconsistent with the idea that Call of Duty drives platform adoption. Figure 12 shows Redacted is the game that most gamers play first after purchasing an Xbox console in the period between 2016 and 2022. Redacted and numerous others are similarly often played first," end quote. So, yeah, Microsoft is out here basically making the claim that people don't choose to buy Xbox consoles or PlayStation consoles for Call of Duty. Again, this is completely disingenuous. I understand that Microsoft is presenting data between 2016 and 2022, but it's worth noting that within this time frame, PlayStation is the one that had the marketing rights to Call of Duty and has always pushed very hard to make it known that PlayStation is the home of Call of Duty. And I have no doubt in my mind that it absolutely works. People always wonder, why does Sony pay for these little exclusivity bonuses? Why do they market the game so hard on PlayStation? It's because it works and it gets people to buy PlayStation to play Call of Duty on PlayStation. And the only proof you need of this is simply Microsoft themselves. During the entire Xbox 360 era, they did the exact same thing. They had a major marketing deal with Call of Duty. Everybody remembers they would get map packs early and stuff like that. They had, limited edition consoles. It was the whole 9 yards with Call of Duty and Xbox. And Xbox did this because they know it drives console sales. So yet another very disingenuous thing being said here by Microsoft. And so, just figured I would let you guys know about that as well. But moving on from that, we have a small update on the new Twisted Metal TV series. Nothing major here, but what's essentially being conveyed is that not only are the creators of the Twisted Metal TV series big fans of the game and they want to, make that known, but they're comparing it to something maybe like Zombieland when it comes to the tone and what to expect. And I'm not going to read the entire quote here. It's pretty long, but that's pretty much all you need to know. I think a lot of people maybe forget that there's a Twisted Metal TV series coming, and it seems kind of random, but we do know that Sony does currently have a new Twisted Metal game in the works, and I assume we're going to be hearing about it sometime in 2023. and they're gonna probably try to reveal this game and show it off at the same time that they have this TV series going. But there you go, the creators are making it known that they are actually big fans of Twisted Metal and that the show is comparable to something like Zombieland. So let me know your thoughts on that. Next up, we have new information on Horizon Call of the Mountain. Taking to Twitter, Guerrilla Games has revealed who the protagonist is going to be. Rias, a former Shadow Carja who has gone on to become a master hunter. Described as driven and skilled, he has a lot of regrets from his days with the Shadow Carja and has lost faith in himself, while he's also a capable fighter and machine hunter and adept with a bow, which all makes sense given that Call of the Mountain's first-person climbing and ranged combat gameplay is at its core. Not much is known about his appearance, Guerrilla says about Rias. Although he kept some of his Shadow Carja gear, he has scrubbed all the markings and insignias from it. He knows his past actions will never be forgiven by the world. Still, he seeks to regain his honor. So yeah, just figured I would give you this update. We have Guerrilla and Firesprite coming out, giving us new information on the main protagonist of Horizon Call of the Mountain. But moving on to the final topic, we're talking about God of War Ragnarok. Reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, it says Santa Monica Studios' Eric Williams has revealed to Game Informer that one of God of War Ragnarok's characters could have been cut from the game, but he fought for his inclusion. You've probably already guessed who that character is because he does stand out, but in case you haven't figured it out, it's the talkative squirrel Ratatoskr. Williams felt that Ratataskr's inclusion was necessary to balance God of War Ragnarok's dark tone and to add some lighthearted touch to the game. The rest of the development team wasn't sure about that and felt there were too many characters already. The scene where he shows up, that was the one everybody was like, okay, are we going too far? Williams recalled. Even the music director was like, I don't even know what to do with the music here. This is so far away from God of War. Williams then rang voice actor Sung-Wang Cho to help write Ratataskr's character and bring him to life. Cho told Game Informer that before he came in, Ratataskr's character was rude and sassy, but he decided to make him more fun. So I just wanted to cover this because I actually think this is pretty cool. And I have to say, I'm actually not surprised because this character does stand out in this game for these reasons, right? It just doesn't seem like it necessarily, I don't want to say fits, but it's not what you would expect. And I actually ended up really enjoying the character. I do think that Eric Williams made the right call here. I think it breaks things up just a little bit at the right moments and just adds a little bit of, as they say here, fun. And, yeah, I enjoyed this character. So let me know your thoughts on what Eric Williams said here. Are you surprised to hear that this character was almost cut? That does it for the video though, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Again, if you did, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.